What's happening, party people? This is your guy Damien, back for my next video. Of course, my last video I talked about SummerSlam and my thoughts of it and everything, and it was my first inaugural video, so hey, it's all good. Now, I want to get down to some other things. First, I'm going to talk about Wrestlemania 31. I know I'm backtracking, but that's alright, you know. I think that with WrestleMania 31, it was great. I've watched a lot of WrestleManias on TV and everything, but I think that this being the first one that I've went to and I was able to go to, it was just like the one, the perfect one to go to. It was just brilliant, straight up brilliant. So pretty much my thoughts were, I didn't get to do the whole week-long experience and everything. Kind of wish that I could have, but you know, money was funny, so you know, what are you gonna do? But other than that, I think that going on that day was still fun because it was a long day. They opened the doors, or the gates I should say, like at 1:30, and so we were pretty much there, me and my homeboy Double M 2003 on Twitter, follow him. We left, he went and came and grabbed me, and then we left the house at 9. We drove out there, got out there about 11:30, somewhere around there. And, you know, we just kind of, you know, got there and chilled in parking for a little bit. We parked actually across the street behind the parking garage in, like, the golf course, the grass area. Tons of other people were. It was great parking, and it wasn't far at all. It was basically right across the street from Levi's Stadium, which was good. So that was cool. So we only had a couple-hour drive to get there, so that was nothing. So we got out there, we chilled for a little bit and stuff. $40 for parking. What are you gonna do? And then we kind of chilled, waited. They were giving out bags, plastic bags, for people to like bring in to the stadium and everything, which was cool. And it was see-through. You got to have a bag with a see-through so you can see through it and everything. So we went ahead and did that. Got our bags, whatever like that, for other little things, water bottles, stuff like that. We had our shirts and stuff, so we were pretty much ready to go. Like I said, we didn't get to do a week thing or a weekend thing. We basically only got to do just Mania, which was, it was fine with me because it was a long day anyway. It felt like a weekend. So, and the weather was great, nice and warm. So we pretty much stood outside. It started getting real hot, waiting to get into the stadium. Everybody was around cheering and chanting and everything, so it was cool, not bad. But finally got to get in and everything. Our seats were in the 400s, and it was like section 401, so it was basically on the very top, but on that end behind the stage. We were pretty much right by the fireworks, kind of so to speak. And then also having to sit so high, we'd have to look at the scoreboards for, like, you know, certain things up close, the matches and stuff like that. The seats weren't bad. They were a great view. Got to see everything except, you know, the stage and people coming out on the stage and everything going on with that. Other than that, it was good. It was pretty cool. Now, going into the show, or talking about the show, that experience, you needed to be there for the whole, pretty much when they opened the gates. Because when they opened the gates, it was it. People were rushing in, flooding in, and it was cool. Go get your seat. You know, people were going to go eat. Go ahead and eat and get your drinks and stuff like that and everything. And then, of course, came the pre-show starting. And then, of course, first match was the tag team for the Los Matadores, the Usos, the New Day, and Kid and Cesaro. It was a good match. Excuse me, it was a good match. A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, you know. It was so different. Well, I'll get back to the match in a second, but it was so different watching these matches in broad sunny daylight. And it was a WrestleMania. It was different because, you know, all the WrestleManias, you know, if they're on the East, it'll already be dark. Or, you know, for the most part, they'll be indoors, so you're not going to know. But it was crazy. It was outside. It was a good feeling. It was a good vibe. Everybody was feeling good, despite the weather being pretty warm. Everybody was just excited and on cloud nine about everything. It was just good. All around, it was good. And for my first one, it was absolutely an experience that it's the best experience I've had so far, besides having my child. It's the best experience I've had so far. So, now getting back to that match, the tag team match. It was good. Kind of figured Cesaro and Kid were going to retain, especially after Jimmy or Jay, I can't remember which one, got hurt early on in the match. That pretty much summed it up for the Usos retaining in their hometown. You know, what are you going to do? And so, going on to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. For those who pretty much put a lot of thought into these matches and everything, we kind of pretty much already knew Big Show was going to eventually get that. Him being a Giant, winning Andre the Giant Battle Royal was bound to happen. How many more years he has left, who knows? But, you know, they kind of thought he was going to get it the first time they had it. And, you know, that didn't happen. Cesaro just had the pop, and you just had to give it to him. Plus, he picked him up, got him over the ropes. Almost did it again this one. But, you know, it didn't quite work out. I'm glad that they decided to do the Miz Dow and Miz. In that, it was smart. It was the right thing to do. And, of course, Miz Dow went ahead and, you know, turned on Miz and finally went his own way, but still didn't pull it out with the Big Show. Big Show pretty much had it easy going after he got rid of Ryback. And I really thought for a hot second Ryback was going to be the one to get him over the top, because if Ryback would have got him over, Ryback would have pulled it out. I was really shooting for that. I'm a big Ryback guy. I am. Just like a big Roman guy. So, that didn't happen. Big Show pulled it out. We pretty much knew how that was going. He probably won't win another one. But he got his Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal win, so that was good for him. Now, going on to the main card, the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Entertaining. I know people expect a lot of crazier stuff to happen, but when you got names like Ziggler and Ambrose and Bryan in it, you really don't want them to do too crazy stuff to where they're going to be out of commission for a little bit, or they won't be themselves. Daniel Bryan, hopefully he doesn't continue to be injury prone. He can come back after whatever injury he has and he'll be too legit. But if not, then, you know, it's going to be a questionable future for DB. I'm going to be doing this video while I'm eating too, you guys, because I'm hungry. So whatever. But other than that, I think that the match went alright. Pretty good. Ziggler and Bryan headbutting at the end. Bryan getting the victory. Played out pretty cool. And then pretty much for about that, it was alright. Daniel Bryan got his in the moment again. And got the Intercontinental Championship finally. So, that's cool. So, next one we're going to Orton and Rollins. You pretty much, that would have been a match that could have stole the show. It was okay. It was steady throughout it. Rollins and Orton work great together. They just do. And then, of course, Orton with probably the best RKO he's ever done. It just worked out beautifully. It was a good match because if he didn't have that special RKO, they would have been in trouble. So it ended up being a good match. Orton got the victory. And that's it for that. Now, Triple H's theme came pretty early. But it pretty much came. Sting, pretty good entrance, not too bad. His first WrestleMania. Came out in the red coat, trench coat, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, fans loved him. He looked good out there. He looked strong. He was doing what he needed to do. It was good. Triple H, by far, just his entrance alone, probably would have stole the show for me if a certain something didn't happen later on in the event, which we'll get to that a little bit later. Triple H coming out with the Terminator gear, and the Terminator's next to him, and the music I could not stop watching that since that WrestleMania has been over. It is by far his best entrance, and arguably the best entrance in WWE in a very long time. I mean, Undertaker's entrances are always going to be great. I think Undertaker's best entrance, I thought it was 23, and it ended up being 29, where he came up and he had the souls reaching for him and stuff. It was just absolutely great. But, you know, getting back on track here, Triple H and Sting, I thought Sting was going to win it. I really did. I'm pretty sure tons of other people thought the same way. Didn't go that way. Triple H got the win. I kind of figured it out later that, okay, it was probably putting an end to the WCW thing once and for all. So, you know, I get that. That's fine. I'm okay with it. You know, I thought Sting did good. For as old as he is, he did really good. He looked good out there. Whatever he did from Survivor Series when he appeared till then was good, because he really helped himself, because Triple H is a big man. And to hang with Triple H, you got to be in somewhat kind of shape too. So, excuse me. And so, from that match, we get on to the Divas match, I believe it was. And no, I think it was Cena and Rusev. But anyway, we'll go to Cena and Rusev real quick. That was cool. I thought it could have ended a little bit different. I thought beating Rusev with the AA was... I mean, Rusev, I think, is kicked out of the AA before. I think before that, I'm not quite sure. I think he has. But I think they could have ended it a little different. Rusev, like, you know, passing out off of the STF. But it didn't happen that way. Rusev missed Cena, knocked over Lana. Cena got him with the AA, got the pinfall victory. And, you know, that was that. I'm okay with it. You know, if anybody was going to beat Rusev in his streak and everything, it would be Cena. We pretty much kind of knew that. Cena needed a big match anyway for Mania, and that was big enough. I don't think he could have got anything any bigger than that. So, that was cool. Cena got the victory. Rusev lost. Rusev kind of fell off the earth a little bit after that, and then kind of got back on board. And then, so then that goes to, I'm in the car, so I'm looking around, you know, at people all around, so it's all right. Now, we also go to the Divas, Paige and AJ against the Bella Twins. I am really not knocking women, but I'm just going to keep it all the way real. That match was junk. It was junk. Compared to the Divas Revolution stuff that's going on now, that match was junk at Mania. I'm sorry. It was, and I don't really have nothing else to say about that. Going to Taker and Bray Wyatt, it was alright. It was cool. It was decent. I give it as a decent match. Taker's back. He looked good. It seemed like he was a little bit bigger, a little bit, you know, got some more muscle or whatever from the last Mania. He got his hair back. It's obviously, again, he's probably going to grow it back long. It'd be a little bit longer probably for 32. So, you know, it's all good. But Taker got the win. His entrance wasn't too spectacular like I thought it could be, but that's all right. You know, it wasn't really dark enough, and I don't know, whatever they used. But I thought Bray Wyatt's entrance was absolutely fantastic. The scarecrows, you know, following them down the ramp, coming to life, that was great. They keep doing creative entrances for Bray Wyatt. It's really, really going to help him, especially in Manias. Him taking over the new face of fear, because eventually, of course, we know the Undertaker is going to be gone, probably after 32. So Bray Wyatt has got to be that guy. He's probably not going to have a streak, obviously, because he's already lost twice in Mania. But, you know, he may not lose another Mania after this. Who knows? But enough about all that. Taker got the win. And then going to Reigns and Lesnar. Reigns and Lesnar was a great match. It wasn't back and forth at first. Lesnar was dominating him at first, beating the holy hell out of Reigns. And so, you know, Reigns, you know, he was taking a beating, then he started laughing after a while, pissing Brock off. Then, of course, you know, the opening came when he busted Brock open on the outside with the head to the pole. and then it went on from there. Reigns was making his comeback and everything. Brock caught him with an F5. They were both beat up. And what's never been done before, which was done, Seth Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank. It was a very great idea. That was a great way to end Mania. You couldn't have ended it any better than that itself. So that was great. It was absolutely brilliant. No one's ever done it before. Rollins is special, and they're treating him like he's special. And, you know, as you've seen from this SummerSlam and everything, Rollins is the guy. Pretty much he's like the next Triple H, but obviously more athletic. Sorry, Triple H. And yeah, Rollins ended the show, cashing it in, and, you know, all that was good as can go. Now, as far as Mania, we hung around for a little bit afterwards, you know, try to see if we took a few pictures, try to see if we can catch any superstars or anything like that. Didn't really get to do that. The whole overall experience was great. It was a long day. Pretty much from sitting on our seats about 1:45 all the way to like 8:30 at night. Being in that stadium, sitting in the seat. It was warm to hot, and then once that sun dropped, it got cool real quick. So it was great overall. We were right by the fireworks, the pyro and everything was just great. The overall experience was fantastic. I've loved wrestling and watched it for millions of years. And for me to actually finally get the opportunity to go to one was brilliant. I don't even care where I sat. I sat probably the worst seats you could probably sit, except for directly behind the stage. But we sat up high. We still had a good view, and got to see the scoreboard and everything, and it was just brilliant. Watch my videos. I could have recorded it a little better. If I could rewind the day or rewind time to get back to that day, I definitely would filmed everything differently and angle-wise differently and everything. But I was so excited, I didn't care. I just wanted to put stuff on video and have it. I took pictures too, but the pictures aren't on YouTube. They're on my phone and other things. But yeah, the overall experience was great. Watch my videos. They're not long. I put all my videos together on one video. I think it's like a 12-minute long video. But just an overall experience, I was so excited. I couldn't sleep the night before. I've got to go to another one. I got to see how money and everything looks for all that. But I've definitely got to do it again. I recommend those who have not gone, who are wrestling fans, figure out a way to go. It doesn't matter if you get enough money to where you fly out there that day, go to the event, and then fly back that night somehow. Just do it. You just got to do it. You cannot miss WrestleMania as a wrestling fan, whether you're a wrestling fan for a year or 30 years. You got to go to one. And I finally went to one. I was very excited and happy about that. And I plan on going to another one. Not sure which. Hopefully this next one, because it's going to be history making. Over 100,000 people in that bad boy. This is going to be crazy. And I hope that everything works out and I get to go. But I recommend everybody to go. I've watched a lot of WrestleMania videos from different people on YouTube. You know, I liked several different people. I don't really want to name drop in this video. But when I get my Twitter back, follow me on Twitter, Damien P for real. Subscribe to my page, Damien Powell, for YouTube. And yeah, I mean, heck, you can also Skype me at Damien P for real. This was my my thoughts about my WrestleMania 31 trip. It was absolutely brilliant and great. Wish I could have did the week or the weekend at least, but that's all right, because that one day was long enough and it was great. All right, you guys, I will talk to you again on something else whenever that comes, maybe about Raw or something, or who knows, on my next video. Until then, see you guys later.